Sue. Welcome to the WRV Cook Shed. First thing we do is unlock this. And we have to get this to slide. That usually needs a foot here. Then we get it slid. And this is the way it looks. And we like to keep everything in its place because that way it makes it much easier for the next person to find what they're looking for. The first thing you'll see are these wonderful roll-up tables. They're about the size of a card table, and the legs are all inside there. They are great, and they go out on almost every project. In this section, on the top, we have paper towels and napkins and toilet paper. On the next shelf, we have serving dishes, bowls, and plates. These big bowls are frequently used for bagels, anything that you need large quantities of. Down in this section, we have kettles and other big pans and griddles, and huge skillets, and a wonderful stirrer to work in those big pans. Don't forget that, because you'll need it if you need to stir something. On the top shelf of this section we have coffee pots and pitchers. On this shelf we have plastic wrap and foil and food grade gloves and Ziplocs. Then we have a big container of spices. Then we come down into our bulk beverage section. We have hot beverages, we have cold beverages. These are the mixes and the sugars and the creamers for all of those items. Here we have sharp knives and miscellaneous kitchen utensils. This is also kitchen utensils. Down here we have long handled items and pan lids. Here we have paper sacks. Little brown paper sacks are used on projects where lunches are prepared at breakfast time and taken with the volunteers. We have trash bags, and then on the lower level here we have all of our cleaning supplies. Obviously we keep the cleaning supplies below the foods. That keeps everything safe. This is just an assortment of towels and tablecloths and hot pads. This bucket contains tool cleaning supplies and chemicals. Again, we keep it away from the food just for safety reasons. This section is where we keep the stoves. This is called the rocket stove. It heats large quantities very quickly. And here we have 3 other stoves that have their legs. They carry like suitcases, and their legs are stuffed inside. This bin contains all the stove parts and couplings that you have to have on projects when you're using these stoves. This section contains items used primarily by the tool managers, but the cooks do need to know that tarps are here in case they need to take them on a project where we're expecting rain. This section contains all of our compostables. We have 2 blue bins that are used to carry the compostable knives and forks and spoons and plates and everything to the sites. Below them we have coolers. These coolers are taken out on the projects as well. And right here we have 2 little pieces of wood that are very important. These go in the coolers to keep them open when they come back from projects so that they do dry. Otherwise they mold, and out here in this heat they grow mold very fast. This is the section where all of our water containers are kept. These blue ones are for non-potable water. The turquoise ones are for potable water. Before you go out on the site, make sure that you come and get the water spout for the right container. They are not a universal fit. These hoses are used to fill these containers. Do not use your garden hose, because with the plastics in the garden hose and the possible bacteria that could be growing in there, we don't want to make anybody sick. So these are the hoses that we use. This section is very important to the cooks. These are our wonderful tables. They go out with us on almost every project. The smaller card table also goes. It's usually used for registration or whatever else might need. This shelf contains large containers that hold water, iced tea, and lemonade in large quantities. Trash cans are stored on this shelf. The beige one is used for compost, and bags for this are in back with the rest of the compostable supplies. The green one is for recycle, and the red one is for items that go to the trash. These bins are used to carry small food items and other supplies out to the site. We prefer that people use these bins as opposed to cardboard boxes because we don't have any way to dispose of cardboard boxes out here. Here we have chafing dishes and sterno that are taken on some of the projects. We have wonderful disposable baking pans here. This is dried food for backpacking trips. Here are some towels that are used, again, just whenever anybody needs them. These are our Cambros. Cambro is a trade name. It really just means it's an item that carries liquids, hot liquids. And we have one for hot water, one for coffee, and this small one can also be used for coffee. Leftover foods are kept in this area, and we encourage people to come out and make sure they know what's in here before they go and buy, because oftentimes we will end up with 6 or 8 open jars of peanut butter. These are the canopies. They range in size from 8 by 10 to 10 by 15. And last but not least, this is our message board, and it's very important because it's the way we communicate with the next cooks and with the people in charge of the shed. If there's something broken, you put it here. If we're out of something, let's say sterno, we put it here. So this is a very useful piece. So that's a very quick tour of the cook shed. We hope you enjoy your experience, and if you have any questions, feel free to call one of us. Thank you.